The Western media's entitlement and its history of racist undertones is baffling. The so-called dirty brown people who smell of curry are conquering the world and beyond, and they couldn't keep calm. And to make things worse, their arch nemesis, the fascist Narendra Modi, continues to be India's Prime Minister against all odds. This famous cartoon that you're seeing on screen is from 2014, published by the American daily The New York Times to mock the ISRO's Mars mission. And this is again an American news agency, Bloomberg, which is downplaying India's achievement in successfully executing its first space docking experiment by quoting that India says it is successful. I mean, decades have passed, but this Western media does not seem to end their racism towards India and its achievements. Today in this video, let us talk about the biases of Western media reporting and how it drips of racism towards India. First, starting with the Bloomberg. This is how they watered down India's historic achievement of successful space docking experiment. Instead of acknowledging the fact that India became the fourth country in the world to master this critical technology, this American news agency Bloomberg just reports that India says it has successfully done it. While on the other hand, if I show you how they report their own achievements, then you must read this article, wherein Bloomberg highlights NASA's milestone by stating that NASA has successfully landed its largest and the most sophisticated science rover on Mars. Wow, it reminds me of a saying, Sadda kutta kutta, twadda kutta Tommy. Well, the hypocrisy of the West on India's achievements does not end here. There is another instance that I want to mention is that of BBC. Remember, we covered a video about how the British news agency mocked India's largest Hindu religious festival, Mahakumbh. They called the Naga sadhu as naked, ash-smeared ascetics and the Mahakumbh mela as bathing spectacle. Now, here I will show you this coverage of the BBC News. So casually and openly, they're glorifying and talking about a nude fest, terming it Europe's largest naturist festival. Here, BBC had absolutely no objections in writing about how it was a week-long program of activities that included naked bingo, nude clay pigeon shooting and line dancing. It is so casual for the BBC to show women in such a way, but they seem to have a lot of problem when the core of Mahakumbh Mela, the Naga sadhus, join in to participate in their tradition and faith. And mind you, this was the same BBC who also tried to dismiss their own country's heinous incidents of grooming gangs while reporting this ways. Somehow, the West cannot digest the fact that India, a former British colony, the land of Naga sadhus, so to say, is conquering space. It comes as no surprise. Hence, that whenever we achieve a milestone in what the West considers its own area, they feel threatened and end up with such racist attacks. One would say, leave us alone in the exasperation. But if there is one thing we have learned is that the only thing worse than being talked about is not being talked about. So while they continue with their racist attacks, India will continue to grow, if nothing, then just to spite them.